And I think, Leticia, you didn't introduce yourself, right?
Okay, my name is Leticia. I live in Porto Alegre, and I'm a software developer, and I'm here again.
Great. And guys, let's go to the questions. The first one, the second one, are you a perfectionist? How would you describe this type of person? So as for myself, I'm not. I I think it is good to, I don't know, it's good is the word. It makes sense to be a perfectionist because we always want to give our best. But I wouldn't say I am this type of person because for me, someone who's perfectionist, it is someone who is always asking for the details in everything this person does. Or, for example, a perfectionist person cannot be messy, and I'm a little bit messy. So for me, it doesn't add up. So I would say I'm not like, especially with work. I reached the point in my life where I realized I cannot be perfect, where I will make mistakes. It doesn't mean I don't get upset when I make mistakes. It's normal, but in general, I'm not a perfectionist. I try to do my best, but I don't feel so bad when I cannot. That's what happens with me. And how about you, Bruno?
Yeah, so in my case, I don't consider myself as a perfectionist person. I always try to do my best in order to achieve good results, but I don't consider myself like this. As you said, I think we all need to look for the best, try to do our best in all the attempts. But I think that when you make some mistakes, it's a good way to see about your how can I say it, your journey, your I don't know how can I say it, but I want to say that it's a good way to measure. That's the word, to measure your progress. So if you don't make mistakes and you always do the things in a perfect way, it's like how can you measure uh, your progress. So I don't think that is so good. Of course, when you look for the best, okay, but you need to take it easy sometimes, and don't put so much pressure on yourself. That's the thing.
Yeah, I agree. Can you choose the next person?
Sure. So I want to hear from Mr. Gustavo.
Yeah, in my case, I'm not a perfectionist. I don't consider myself a perfectionist. Like Sarah said, I'm a little bit mess as well with my time, with my stuff. And I think that a perfectionist person is like you guys said, they focus a lot of in details, like everything need to be perfect, but it's hard. I don't know if there is a perfect thing. I don't know if I can say there's a perfect thing, but in the mind of the person that you need to always follow that. And like you guys said, it is good, but sometimes not, because I think like if you are so perfectionist, and you think and you want to do everything perfect, it's hard for you to do that, and you take a long time doing it. And so maybe you need to finish something, but you're not finished because you need to you don't think that it's perfect yet. So you're trying, but then you never get that point that you imagine that happen. So that's good, but as well is bad. But I don't consider myself. And you, Heitor?
Mm, I think my position, my job position, I have to be a little perfectionist. I have to put myself in the customer side, and I don't know, compare an application if it's working well. But it's very funny because in other sides, I'm not even close a perfectionist. I'm just a medium person. That's work, yes, okay. Doesn't touch that. Just go ahead to down other tasks. But I have to learn to be more perfectionist to be a better professional, actually. And you, Leticia?
I'm less a perfectionist at the moment because in the past I'm too perfectionist, and because for myself, I put in a lot of pressure in for myself and for any things I do. And now I understand more when you make a mistakes or not so good. It's not a big pressure for myself, but I understand it's part of my work contributes to this because when I was working in other projects, I remember my client is too perfectionist and they put more pressure for me, and I'm too pressure for me too. Okay, but now I'm understand the perfectionism and the bad things the perfectionism do for my life.
Yeah, the school of life teaches a lot about this, right? We can't be perfect. We're gonna get somewhere, but if you just keep trying to improve, it will happen. But it doesn't have to be perfect, especially with English, for example. If you expect it to be perfect, you won't speak like ever, and that's not what you want.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So the third question. So this question is about job interviews. Some people say that the flaw, the weakness is to be a perfectionist. Do you think there is a flaw to be to oh sorry. Do you agree that being perfectionist it is a flaw or maybe not? Because nowadays I would say it is like cliche to say, oh, I'm a perfectionist. But some companies they actually they realized it as this scam, because candidates are saying they are perfectionists when they actually are not, maybe. I don't know, I'm just trying to provoke something here. But let's go with you, Eito. What do you think? It is a flaw, maybe not?
Uh, I don't know. I think the most of professionals be perfectionists could be a weakness because we spend a lot of time doing the same task or the same thing. And nowadays we just looking for people more efficient, and sometimes perfectionist is not met with efficient. You have to do your tasks well. You have to assure them they work, but be perfectionist, in my opinion, um, it's not a requirement, I think. And for you, Leticia?
In my opinion, perfectionism as a weakness when you have a problems to do your task or to do anything in your life or in your job, for example. But if you organize, if you plan the part of your life or part of your job, I don't agree with a weakness. You understand how do you work and then organize your schedule. For example, I remember I prefer do different do bad tasks, for example, or hard tasks in the morning because my mind it's more free, and I do this better, and compared to I do this in the afternoon. But I understand when okay, in my opinion, when you understand this perfectionism with your life, with your work, it's possible to explain with this in the interview job, and but it's not a bad thing, but it's a good thing for your organized work, for example. And you, Gustav?
Yeah, I agree with you guys as well. But I think like in the job interview, like they said that weakness, I think because there's always that question that what are your weakness, and it's hard for you to answer that because if you say a bad thing like, oh, I am not organized, So he said, oh, they're gonna be a bad. The person gonna see, oh, this guy is not for the company because he organize his stuff, he organize her mind and his desk, anything. So I think that if you are perfectionist, it's okay for you to say that, but if not, I think that's not a good idea. And like I said, I think it could be a flaw. I think it's more good than bad. I think so to be a perfectionist, but it could be a flaw. Like there's a lot of right now agile methodology. So oh, you're doing this job, and sometimes you can't finish the job. You go to other tasks and go on, go on, go on, and sometimes you didn't finish it. You need to stop because something is more important. But if you are so perfectionist, you'll not agree with that. Say, oh, that's not perfect right now. I not can show that for you because it's not what it's not a perfect thing that I can show. I know that I can show more, but times don't work with that. So you need to show that, and after you go back to finish what you are trying to do. So sometimes is you need to give up some stuff to do other stuff. And if you are so perfectionist, sometimes you can agree with that. Say, oh, it's not my perfect job, so I need to stay here and do my perfect thing. So depend of the work, I don't know, maybe the research humans or the guy was hiring is not gonna feel so well. And like you said, it's like a cliche as well sometimes. And you said,
Yeah, I totally, I was thinking about what Letitia mentioned, because she said about being perfectionist, being good. And in my head, it's more like a negative thing, but maybe it is good for others, but not so good for yourself, because you put a lot of pressure on the things you have to deliver. So maybe your employer can like this because, oh, he's going to always work at his finest, but for yourself, you are always going to be worried about, oh, I could have done better. So I wouldn't say that, because I'm not a perfectionist. So if I had an interview, I would say other things. But yeah, I think it is a flaw. It can get in the way of a lot of things. So maybe my answer would be not be this, but I consider it as a flaw. I don't know if I made myself clear, but it depends on the situation, about being perfectionist. Yeah. And last but not least, Bruno, what's your opinion?
Yeah, so well, my opinion, I think it's a trick position, like when you say that you are a perfectionist person, because it can be something good and bad in the same time, right? So at work, as you said, guys, depending of the job that you execute, it can be good. For example, if you work with analysis, you make a lot of analysis throughout the day, so it can be good because you need to be perfectionist. You need to check out every single detail. So it can be a good thing. But for example, if you work in a operational area and you need to hurry up with everything because you need to deliver the things on time, maybe it can be something bad. So it depends of your position, and the job that you work with. Yeah, basically that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, great advice. Like, know yourself, know the job opening, and don't
Yeah,
lie. And I think it's a better way to go. Yeah.
that's it.
And question number 4. Let's start with Leticia. Do you think perfectionism is connected to the way we were raised? How so?
I agree. I think it's the environment you were raised, it's contribute to if you are perfectionist or no. I think, for example, the other environment contributes to this is the working, I don't know the names in English, but I think it's toxic environments contribute to do it's more perfectionism, or you not or you don't make a mistakes, or if you do make a mistake, it's the worst part.
Yeah, I agree with you. I've been to different environments, like environments where it was okay to make mistakes and environments where it was really bad, and it's totally different the way you react and the way you see yourself after the experience, you know. So good point, Leticia. Thank you for sharing. And how about you, Gustavo? Do you agree with her?
Yeah, I think like you guys said, maybe if like your parents is so, oh, you need to do this perfect, you need to do this and that in the perfect way, and they don't show to you that flaws and mistakes is normal, and you always need to be perfect, but anyone is perfect in the end, but they force you to trying to do that, the perfect movement, the perfect thing, and you stay that in your mind and kind of uh, could make you this characteristic. So yeah, I think it's depend of the environment that you grow up. That's that is that could happen. And you, Heitor.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the environment can force us to be better and better because I think we have the wrong think about that because sometimes we just start to think if I'm not be perfect, they will replace me, they will hire someone else, and I have to be better and better. And sometimes it's make us more stressful. And I think it's like a snowball. When you get more stressful, your work get worse, and you will start to be distant. You have to increase the distance of perfectionism. So you start to get a bad emotions. And in my opinion, have to work against that. You have to do your job well, but the perfectionism must be a plus. You don't have to be the first thing you have to search, in my opinion. And about you, Bruno?
Yeah, I believe that everything that we saw on our childhood can impact our lives. You know, for example, if you, I have an example inside my home that is my wife, right? Because my wife, she loves to tidy up the house and clean up the house, and it's awesome because she learned it from her parents, you know, and it's amazing. So, and believe it or not, I am following the same path, you know, because since I married her, I started to clean up the house like crazy, you know, not like crazy that, oh my God, I saw a dust on the floor and I will take it. No, no, not like that. But I can't stand, uh, I can't stand a week, for example, without cleaning up the house because for me it's disgusting, you know. So when we see an example, we can the standard is follow this example, you know. And I think that yeah, perfectionist, we can we as we see it, we can follow the same path, you know, if we see it since we are a child, you know. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's amazing to know that you help clean the house because I've been so upset about this lately because cleaning the house, oh my God, I hate it. It's making me,
You
it's
hate
making
to
me,
clean the house?
I love a clean house, but I don't like to clean it, okay? It works like this. I
Yeah,
just love
I know
the
it's the hard
smell
part, right?
after. Yeah, but the process, not so amusing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but
that's it.
really good
I
what
feel
you
you,
guys
yeah.
mentioned. And what Gustavo said about the parents showing perfection, it can really impact because I remember when I was a kid, I really had this impression, you know, like my parents don't make mistakes. And when I grew up, it was like a shock for me to realize they were they had a lot of flaws, and they have yet, so I think they know now that it's not, I don't have a problem with that, but I think when you are a first time parent, you want to do your best, and it's kind of normal to show, or we at least try to show this perfection to your kids, so it's part of the learning. You are learning, and the next time you do better, and grow up with your mistakes, of course. And talking about this perfection, success, we have the question number 5. Then I would like to start this one with Bruno. Can you read this one for us and you answer? And then you choose the next person because I'm talking too much.
No way, no way.
Go ahead.
You can do that. You can do that. You have credits. Let me see here. Number 5. The bar for success is continually raised. How can we preserve our inner peace when these are the times we live in? Oh my God, it's a good one. Yeah, the bar for success. I have no idea how to answer this question, It's so well elaborated that I don't have words to describe this, to answer this, So, but I will try to answer it. I believe that, in every task that you are in, you need to do your best, and sometimes you will make mistakes, as you mentioned before about English, taking it and showing my example, I always try to do my best in order to speak better and do whatever I want. I need to do better in English, but sometimes most of the time I can achieve that level that I want, that I looking for, and that's okay. In the past I was like bothering myself because of that, because we plan things in life and we want to get it as soon as possible, but everything demands time, and we're gonna make mistakes, and it's important. It's one of the most important parts to achieve what we want, and if we are in the middle of the process, we can give up. We just need to have patience and keep going, no matter how much mistakes do you make, and sometimes we will make foolish mistakes, that mistake that you see and you think, oh my God, how can I do this, but whatever, just keep going, and no matter what people say about you, about your mistakes, if you really want something, you just need to go for it and forget the rest, that's it. And what about you, Leticia? What do you think about it?
I think when you understand if you make a mistake, it's possible. It's you can learn with this. We preserve your inner peace, and the other thing, it's people there are different times. My time to understand or learn English, for example, is different your time. And if I'm not freaking out about this, it's a good way. But I think the others techniques to preserve your inner peace. For example, for me, it's good to do exercise and refresh my mind when I will learn some things and stop a few moments and start again. It works for me. And you, Heitor?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. And you, Heitor?
In my opinion, it's almost impossible to achieve the inner peace because, I don't know, let me give some examples. When I start to study a lot English or any kind of my professional, I start to think, man, I have to be a better father. I have to spend a lot of time with my son. And when I spend a lot of time with my son, I let the studies and I let my wife. And sometimes I start to feel I need to stay more time with my family, with my wife. And sometimes I have to study more because there is a lot of people, I don't know how to say, passing by my knowledge. So I think it's almost impossible to achieve that inner peace. You have always to be more concentrate, and it's something very hard to me. Divide my time, spare my time in, okay, you have 2 hours to study, 2 hours to stay with your family, and you have 1 hour to go to the gym. I don't know. I have a lot of things to do, and sometimes it's so difficult. And my inner peace start to get away from me, unfortunately. And Gustavo, I think you don't answer yet.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I think like Heitor has said, I think we always trying to find a balance, and it's hard. You're never gonna find it, because you stay a long time with your kids. Say, oh, but I not study, and some people are gonna pass me, so you're gonna be better than I, and gonna get my job, and I'm gonna be fired, and you stay crazy when you study. Said, oh, but there are people who die. I need to live my life. I need to stay with my kids. I need to stay with my wife, and we always trying with this fight that, yeah, in the end you need to find what is important for us, and stay in peace. I think so, like, oh, I choose that, so I'm gonna enjoy that. No matter what happens, I'm gonna enjoy it. When I go to do that thing, I'm gonna enjoy that, because it's hard for me, like Bruno said with the English. uh for me the same. I think uh, we need to see a goal and think like, oh, I want to go to that thing, and try and see. If it's not possible, it's okay, because in the end of the day, what is important is your journey. I think so. I think, oh, I earn with that, uh, because sometimes it's crazy, because it's some people that, oh, it's kind of perfect person, like, oh, they achieve that, they do that, and I couldn't do that. But yeah, it's that journey. I don't know how much time you spend with that, and his ability, I have mine. So like Lisa said, we are learning different times. And like in English, there's a thing that I always find crazy that said, "Oh, you need to speak like a native English." But I'm not native. I'm not gonna achieve that at all. Maybe my kids, if I live there and I have a kids there, they gonna be a native English. I not. I'm not native. It's like a American trying to learn Portuguese. They're not gonna speak like a native Portuguese people, because he's not Brazilian. He's not a Portugal person. So I think that we always sometimes we're trying to find. Achieve some goals that is kind of impossible, I think so. And we stay crazy, like, oh, I need to achieve that, achieve that, achieve that. But no, no, not at all. We need to just stay in peace and think, oh, I achieved that. So you look back a little bit, said, oh, I walk a lot. So I achieved it. I get this point. So that's nice. That's a nice point for me. And you, Sarah?
Yeah, it's like you and Heitor, you live here in my house because you said a lot of things that I think all the time, about the comparison, about the next step that what I should be doing when I'm resting. For example, when I made this question, I was thinking like, you go to school and then, oh, now how about college? And then you go to college. And how about work? And now how about getting married? And now how about having kids, how about the next step? It's crazy. Like, and talking about success, for me, the things that works on social media, I unfollowed a lot of people who weren't so similar to me. I was just staring and looking at their lives, but I prefer to follow people who is more accessible to me, like some lady who also studied administration and share something about career, but she's not famous. She's just someone who is sharing her journey. And I I prefer to connect with real people who are closer to me than just people who are huge, like Anita or someone who is a millionaire. So I think for me, my inner peace thanks me a lot because of my choices in this social media environment. It can help us a lot to grow and to just accept we're not gonna be the same person that have the same journey like you guys mentioned. It's okay to have different choices and different ways to live, right? I really like what you said, guys. All of you made me think about my own inner peace that I have to preserve at all costs. And let me see how much time we have. So I'd like us to go to question number 9. Yeah, question number 9. What is the difference between self-criticism and perfectionism? Like we can have a safe, healthy level of criticism to improve ourselves, but what is the difference, in your opinion, of course, between this and perfectionism? Let's go with you, Gustavo. I can see you are thinking, so
Yeah, I have no idea. I was trying to think what I could say. Uh, I don't know, to be honest. I think uh, self-criticism, I think it's sometimes important because you can see your mistakes and try not to do that again. So, but not it's like we always said that like uh is can't be excessive because if it be excessive it's gonna be bad for you because oh you just criticize yourself for to be the best for doing thing and you can achieve that. So yeah, that's a bad thing because uh you can achieve it and you always saying bad things about you. And perfectionism, yeah, like I said before, it could be good, sometimes no, but yeah, I'm gonna pass the ball to other because I kind of lost here. And you, Bruno.
I knew that he gonna, throw the ball for me. I knew it. I knew it. I knew.
With you are with the Palmeiras shirt, so yeah.
okay, kick the ball.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Oh my God. Thanks, bro. Thanks so much. So I believe, for example, when you look at yourself and you can see your mistakes, your, how can I say it in English? I don't know. When your qualities and your, I don't know, the opposite of qualities. I don't know. I forgot the name. Do you know, guys?
Kind of flaws.
The
Good
flaws.
things.
Yeah, flaws. Yeah, that's it. When you look at yourself and you can see your flaws, right? And you can correct them, if you can, of course, because sometimes you can do it because not that you cannot do it, but it's like it's difficult to, it's hard to do it. And you, for example, you say that, okay, I'm wrong, I will do my best to improve it. It's a good thing, self-criticism, I think. Not in a bad way, because sometimes you are so criticism about yourself that it can lead you to a bad way, a wrong path. But and perfectionism, I think that, as Gustavo mentioned before, uh, it's good, it can be good, but if you are wasting your time with little things that will not change the big goal, I think that is just a foolish thing, so uh yeah, I think that's it, you just need to take care of yourself in order to not spend so much time with foolish or little things, and look to yourself in order to make you a better version of yourself. That's the main goal, I think. That's it. And what about you, Mr. Heitor? What do you think, man?
I think be self-criticism is like see what you did and think I can do better. And be a perfectionist is another way, look what you did and think, I must be better, even I can't. So in my opinion, when I think about self-criticism, I think I know how deep is my acknowledgement, and I know I be better. I know I can do I don't know, a task better than that. And be perfectionist is even I don't know how to be better, I have to discover about that, and I have to be better than ever, than all of people do that. And sometimes it's bring a frustration. And in my opinion, self-criticism is a a much better way to live. Okay, you know how much you know about that, and you know you can do better, or it's the better way you did that. And perfectionism is hard to achieve, in my opinion. And for you, Leticia?
I agree with you, Heitor. And for example, I'm a self-criticism with my actions, but I'm not a hard criticism with me, because I have a lot of flaws, and if I understand I can learn it. I can don't repeat my action. It's better. It's not good for me or the good other people. For example, it's my self-criticism. It's gooder for me to improve myself, but. I think there is a trick in both words, because you can a you can a hard self-criticism with yourself, and this you can a perfectionist person, because you there a necessity to is better and better and better and better again. Okay, but it's hard because you have a lot of flaws, and it's impossible you have a perfect person. But if you understand these points, your actions, and you learn with these, and can try to do different things, it's a self-criticism. It's better.
Guys, you just blow my mind because I wasn't considering this difference in such a deep way, like really good what especially Heitor mentioned about being aware of your limits, it's really important. And for example, Gustavo mentioned about the English, maybe being self-criticism, it can be like, oh, I need to improve my pronunciation to be more clear, but to speak like a native, it is perfectionist. Like, even though they are not perfect, it's kind of crazy because they speak wrong, just like we speak in Portuguese wrong sometimes. It's and we kind of sometimes the being perfectionist is a goal we set. What about we think it is perfection? It's not perfection. A real perfection. It's just the idea we have about perfection, because we were told it should be like this. We were told we should have an American accent or British accent that I cannot do, by the way. I'm terrible at doing the British accent. And yeah, I really like what you guys mentioned. And for example, here you can watch a lot of videos about yourself, and you're gonna see you're growing with English. You can take the first video of yourself here, and then the last one, and you can compare. And your self-criticism, it's gonna show you how you can improve, but you don't need to put a lot of pressure on yourself, for example. I really like the examples.
Just to add something, by the way, guys, you all are rocking, because your English, guys, is amazing. Just to add this, just that. Each one of you are amazing in English, speaking English.
Thanks,
It's
bro.
like I'm talking to my friends in Portuguese. Like sometimes, I don't know if you guys have this impression, this idea, this feeling but sometimes I forget about the English, and I'm trying to think what I think about this topic, like perfectionism. What is perfectionism? What is perfection? Who am I? You know, like going deep in the topic. Do you guys feel like this sometimes?
All the
Yeah.
time.
It is crazy. And I don't know if I don't have more time. I'd like to thank you so much for your presence and your patience. It's always amazing. I have a blast with you. And I'm gonna bring the guys back here in 1 minute. Today we didn't compromise Heitor with his wife, because sometimes the topic he doesn't want to answer the questions because of his wife. But now it's okay. Today's okay.
No, not today. Today, my son is a little upset because he wants attention.
Yeah, this was the first time I saw him. Say hello to him for me.
Yeah, but he almost crying because he wants to play video game. So
Priorities, right? English, then
that's
video
life.
game. Yeah, really good. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you have a nice week, and don't go away yet, okay? Let's just check with the others about the conversation. Here we go. Let me see who's here. Okay, I was scared for a second. Oh, the guys are back. And hey, Luis, how was the conversation for you, man? Did you enjoy it?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, how was the conversation for you?
It was, I didn't get the name, sorry, but
Mhm.
it was good as always. We talk a lot, we share our ideas and listen each other. It was good. It was always good.
Amazing. And I have question number 6 for you, okay?
Okay.
Do you think nowadays the companies are more open to accept flaws, like with the
Well,
employees?
I don't know exactly. It was a answer that I'm really jump the answer. I just shared the example of my last 2 jobs, but I don't know if the companies are more open. My job before the actual job, it was more acceptable for flaws, but my job actually it's a little bit hard, I think. I don't know exactly if the companies are more open. I think we are talking more about this in general.
Yeah, yeah, you have a point. Like Heitor mentioned that in his job, he has to be more perfectionist because of the details. But for example, in other companies, you are a little bit, you have a different style of management, like HR and this type of companies, you know? And yeah, we can't speak for all the companies, just I think it is important to share your perspective, you know, your experience, of course. Thank you, Luis. And Gabi, I have another question for you, okay? Uh, let me see, question number 10. Do you think perfectionism can lead to procrastination?
Mm, I think it's hard because people that are perfectionism, they want to uh, things fast and perfect. So I think they don't deal with procrastination very well.
Yeah, we were saying like the opposite. For example, perfectionist people, they want things done with perfection, and this takes time, you know, that was
Yeah.
our opinion in the group. But maybe you have a point as well, no? Like if you are a perfectionist, you want things to be done, and maybe some perfectionists can be quicker in the things. Yeah, really good. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing, Abby. And guys, I shared here the link to survey, okay? You can give your feedback. Please don't forget to click that there and suggest your topics, anything you feel like you want to share with us. And here the link for the conversation, the second link. I hope you guys had a good time today with your groups. And I will finish with one last question. Let me see who's left. João Vitor. I don't know if he's here with us. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Very good. So I want to know from you if you are a perfectionist person.
You are?
Perfectionist person.
Yeah. In my case, I think I don't understand the question, but the question in my life, because the question I got it, but I'm perfectional person because, for example, I'm explaining the older room. I have a talk, so I think it's have influence in my perfectionist. So it's characteristic for the person of the person. So I think that's it.
Yeah, I understood. Like, I think the name in English is OCD, like a talk when you want things perfect in the place, something like this. And yeah, I believe that case can lead to be perfectionist because, like you said, it's part of your daily basis to want everything organized and so on. Thank you so much for sharing with us, João. I hope you came here more often, okay, with us. And guys, thank you so much for your time and patience. I hope you have a nice Monday and keep coming to more immersions. We have immersions all week. Bruno has one on Saturday at 9 a.m. And we have another topic coming, another great conversation. Sorry, I'm a little distracted today, I don't know why, but I hope you guys have an amazing Monday and drink water, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, guys.
Thank
Thank you,
guys.
Sarah.
Bye.
Have a nice
See
week.
you.
Yeah.